which means that they loaded me. Hey everyone, it's Trent back with another video. Before I get started, I just want to apologize for not posting for I believe 2 weeks now. I honestly hate missing an upload because I post on Saturdays, it's just one day a week, it's extremely easy to do. But I just started a new job and they loaded me with hours, I just haven't had time. And when I did have time, I was honestly sleeping. Like, I've been so worn out. But you know what, it's fine, I'm fine. I'm gonna be posting 2 videos this week to make up for the last 2 weeks that I missed. I'm gonna be posting one on the day that you're seeing this, which is Wednesday, and another one on my usual day, which is Saturday. Before I forget, I mentioned how I didn't have time to record a video because I've been sleeping, but I did get time to get a second tattoo. I don't know if you can really see it that well because, you know. Anyways, I got an hourglass. It's the second tattoo that I have. It's healing, which is annoying because it itches and it's scabbing. But you know what? I love it. But you didn't click on this video to listen to me rant about tattoos and missing an upload. You clicked on this video because you wanted to hear a story time. The story time of when I got my tonsils removed and everything that happened with it and the complete horror behind it and why it ruined half of my 6th grade year. Let's get into this. So I was in 6th grade when I got my tonsils removed. My tonsils were very enlarged. Originally, I went to the doctor because I kept getting sore throats and I kept getting sick over and over again. Like, I would get at least 3 sore throats a week. So 3 out of the 7 days of the week, I would have a sore throat. Like, literally every week. It was awful. So I went to the doctor and my tonsils were actually very enlarged. So I had to get them removed. The only ever time when I had any surgery done to me prior to this was when I was like 3 years old and I had to get all new teeth and silver caps and stuff like that. And I don't even remember that because I was 3 years old. So this is my first surgery that I actually am going to be able to like remember and like experience, if that makes sense. Needless to say, I was nervous. Middle school was rough enough for me as it is because the transition from elementary to middle school was a lot for me. So 6th grade was already bad enough, let alone having to get my tonsils out. But the good news is that I was able to get a week off of school. Little did I know that week would turn into 2 weeks. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Eventually the time came when I got my tonsils removed. I remember going to the hospital and I remember them getting that loopy stuff all on my face, that mask that made me hallucinate and see things. Apparently I was seeing monkeys and alligators on the wall, and apparently I was laughing at them. It's just what I was told. After that, I remember slowly falling asleep and then waking up in this room filled with hospital beds and doctors. You know how in the movies when somebody like gets knocked out or something, they like wake up and you see like a bright white light and it like slowly like turns into like the whole like room around them? That's what happened to me, literally exactly like that. It was like a bright white light and then it was slowly opening up to me being able to see. And they ended up pushing me back to my room where my mom was. At first, my throat was like really numb, so I didn't feel any pain. But about an hour later, it was awful. I don't do well with pain, let alone being in 6th grade. I was like, what, 12 or 13 years old? It was bad. Actually, wait, I was like 11 or 12. I was young in 6th grade, so it was just really bad. I remember going home and I was like trying to cry, but I couldn't because it hurt too bad, but I wanted to because it hurt so bad. When it comes to being sick, having a sore throat is probably the thing that I absolutely hate the most. I hate how it makes my throat feel. I hate how it makes my food taste, my drinks taste. I hate swallowing because it hurts so much. I absolutely just hate a sore throat. Everything's bad when I have a sore throat. Everything just goes wrong. So the fact that I was basically having a constant sore throat for like the next week was awful. I didn't even get to eat that much ice cream because it honestly hurt too much. My diet consisted of popsicles and chicken noodle soup. That's basically all I ate. After a week went by, I was able to go back to school. Now it's different for everybody. Some kids go back to school the next day after they get their tonsils out, but I couldn't. I took that week off because I don't do well when it comes to sickness and medication. I just don't do well when it comes to like recovering, which is exactly why something really bad happened after that week. So after a week of me being at home, I was supposed to go back to school, but I went back to the doctor because my throat was still hurting the same as it did when I was first out of surgery, and they did some tests and whatnot, and I don't remember if it was an infection or what, but my throat was not anywhere close to being healed. With that being said, they took me off school for another week. So that's 2 weeks off of school due to this surgery. Here is where the fun part comes in. My school hated that. At my school, how it worked in 6th grade is that there's 3 things called houses. Blue, white, and red. And it's just 3 different sections of kids and 3 different hallways. It doesn't mean anything, it's just how they divided the kids. And there was one teacher of each house that basically like ran that house. Like, for example, they checked the attendance for all the kids, they sent that attendance down to the office. Like, they were basically like the managers, I guess, if you want to see it that way, of that house. The teacher from my house was really upset that I was gone for 2 weeks. She filed a report to the office, and then that office sent a letter to my mom saying that if I don't return, then they're gonna take her and me to court. Mainly her because I'm only in 6th grade. But regardless, my mom explained to them the situation that, you know, I had my tonsils out and it just wasn't recovering. That still didn't matter to them. After my mom got that letter, she called the school immediately, very frustrated, and explained to them what was happening and that I would come back with some doctor's excuses, which I did. Also, before my surgery, that all the work that I missed would be excused, because when it comes to surgeries at my school, they excused them. If you missed one day of school and it was excused, then you had to make that up. But if you're gonna be gone for like a consecutive amount of time, for like a week or more, then it was gonna be completely excused and you didn't have to really worry about it. Tell me why when I come back to school after my 2 weeks of being out, I get sent to the same teacher's room for lunch for a whole week to catch up on my missing work. I had to take like 6 tests, have like over 20 papers of homework that had to be due by the end of that week. You wanna know what she told me? If you can take 2 weeks off of school, then you can spend a week doing your work that you missed. I had my tonsils removed and they weren't healing. Like, that was out of my control. This teacher is what made 6th grade so awful for me. And I honestly want to make a whole video about this teacher and why she ruined 6th grade for me. How she basically ruined how I saw middle school. Like, this teacher ruined it for me. So I was in her room every single day for lunch for a week, making up all my work, making up all the tests and everything. I didn't know how to do any of the work because I wasn't there for 2 weeks. So I failed all the tests, failed all the homework assignments, and I almost failed that class. I barely passed with a D. It just really wasn't fair to me, and that whole situation was very, 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 very stupid. But with that being said, that is my tonsillitis nightmare story. I didn't heal right, my teacher was very rude about it, and it was just a big mess. I hope this video made sense to you. I'm not the best with story times because I'm kind of all over the place. It's just how my mind works. So I try to break it up in order so it makes sense and flows. If not, I'm sorry, but I hope you were able to follow my story. Leave a like if you enjoyed, share with your friends if you want to, or if you just related to this video, or if you know anybody who has had the tonsils out, share this video with them. Comment down below if you've had your tonsils out before and tell me how that went for you, like how you healed, if you caused issues with school. Just tell me your experience down below if you had your tonsils removed. Be sure to subscribe if you are new. Tap the bell to be notified whenever I post. I post videos every single Saturday and sometimes throughout the week. So be sure to tap that bell so you don't miss out on a single video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. See you guys on Saturday for a brand new video. Blah, 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 blah.